Merry Christmas 2024. Which are the ways in which you're going to celebrate Christmas, and where will you celebrate Christmas this year? Now, welcome. My name is John Kimani, and this is Marketplace Media, an online platform that engages, equips, and encourages believers to say, Inawezekana. This year, we have what you're calling Christmas special, and want to deal with what we call seemingly impossible things that are actually happen during Christmas season, and there is a host of them. And the goal of this season, of this series, is very simple: is to encourage you, to inspire you, and to tell you, much as you may be facing difficult challenges in your life, much as you may be going through rough patch of your life, much as you may be looking and wondering, how will my life turn out? Maybe you're looking at your life and looking at the dreams that you had for 2024, and looks like you've not achieved much of them. Now, we just want to encourage you that during Christmas season, there is a message that comes and tell us it is possible. And so we are going to deal with those impossible situations that are actually happened within a Christmas season. And so we encourage you to hit the subscriber button of our YouTube channel, and even to go to our Facebook page, like and comment. Otherwise you may not find us again. Please, that which we're about to share today is very, very important and will encourage your heart. So please let us sit there and relax. The first impossible situation that actually seems impossible, seemingly impossible, is what we call a virgin becomes expectant. How? A virgin becomes expectant. Yet when you read in the book of Matthew chapter 1 verse number 18, now the birth of Jesus the Messiah happened in this way. I love the way Matthew just explained it. When his mother Mary was engaged to Joseph, before they lived together. Now you need to understand that the author wants us to tell us that this happened before they lived together. In other words, before they had sexual intercourse between them. She was discovered to be pregnant. And the author does not leave us wondering how, explained by the Holy Spirit. Now verse 19 is very interesting. Her husband Joseph, being a righteous man and unwilling to disgrace her, what did he do? He decided to divorce her secretly. Verse 20 is even more interesting. After he had thought about it, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream. Joseph, son of David, he said, don't be afraid to take Mary as your wife, because that... Now listen, because what has been conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. Do you see confirmation? Do you see confirmation? The other wants to confirm that which we have read, that which that is in Mary's womb is not from human being, it is from the Holy Spirit. If we doubted verse number 18, then we cannot be able to doubt again verse 20 when it is confirmed. You see? So it simply means that the conception, the birth, the baby in Mary's body was not out of biological setup or process. No, it was through the Holy Spirit. Now, I'll leave you wondering how that is possible, because I still is something that is rare. But what are some of the lessons do we pick from this unusual and almost bizarre kind of experience? How can you explain a divine conception? Now we'll leave that, but we'll just ask ourselves, what lessons can we pick from this? And the lessons are like this. Lesson number 1, divine. Let's get them here, because this is very possible. Nothing is impossible with God. Nothing is impossible with God. Let's say it again. Nothing is impossible with God. While you're still thinking about that nothing is impossible with God, we need to say that in human mind it it simply sounded impossible. It is even very difficult for a biologist to explain how that actually happened. Actually, in human, when it comes to biology, it simply sounds impossible. But when Holy Spirit, when God swings into action, that which human beings have labeled impossible becomes impossible. We need to talk to somebody today. You might be going through what we call impossible situations. You've gone to hospital today, the doctor have told you, it's impossible to secure cure for your disease. Or maybe you have a loan issue and it sounds just impossible to complete the loan. Or maybe you're going through a situation that sounds impossible in your life. Maybe you're trying to achieve a dream. Maybe when you look at the list of goals that you made for 2024, it looks like it is even more impossible to deal with them. Now, we've come to tell you one of the lessons that we pick from this divine conception is very simple. And here it goes, is that nothing is impossible with God. Now, please note, it is nothing. And we just want you to think about anything that you might be thinking about. Is it a bank loan? Is it a chronic disease? Is it marriage that is not working? Is it a project that is not moving? Is it a parental issue that has become stubborn? Is it about repetitive evil pattern? Is it about being hijacked by the enemy? Is it about demonic embargoes that have been placed against you? Is it about roadblocks that the enemy has placed about your life? Is it about a tormenting business that is going very quickly downwards? This Christmas season, we want to remind you that nothing is impossible with God. The second reason that we pick is God is able. Now, please note this. God is able. Please, God is able. Please just note, God, we are not saying God will try or God did it. No, we are saying even today, even in this season, God is able to cause absurd things to be a reality. And if you're still wondering, it's quite absurd. How in the world can that be happen? There's no woman in history that we have ever had become pregnant in the name of the Holy Spirit. Not in our memory. It was so absurd. His layer is something that I've never been heard. But we need, and Mary stands, she can ask, who else have ever gone through this? And the answer is no one. But again, those absurd, those rare things, those things that seems like they have never happened within our lives, those becomes our reality. That is what actually happened in the life of Mary, that she became expectant. And so we are saying those things that sounds absurd, that sounds rare, that sounds like they are almost absurd and bizarre, we are saying that is really possible. Lesson number 2, please, we need you to understand it, that God is able, because God is surely able, because we are saying God is able to cause absurd things to happen, to become a reality. And that is your portion. Lesson number 3, please trust the process. Trust the process. Just trust the process. I love Mary when he gives a very interesting word. When he asks, how will this happen? And the angel of the Lord explains that the Holy Spirit will come upon you, and you'll be expectant with a baby, and you're going to give the name of the baby, the name Jesus. And Mary simply says, may it happen as the Lord have said. In other words, she yielded to the process of God. She could not understand, she could not fathom, she could not even comprehend how that will be. But look at her, she says, okay, I am here, I'm the Lord's servant, let it happen as God will be. In other words, she says yes sir to God. And sometimes when we are going through impossible situations, and every expert have said this is not going to work, this can never happen, this is a fixed situation, it cannot be reversed, Sometimes we are there and we are asking, how can we be able to turn this situation? It's just like with Zachariah when he was at the Holy of Holies, and the angel again appears to him and says, your wife will become expectant, and he asked, how? So for most of us, when we face impossible situation, the thing that we normally ask is, how will that become a reality? But it's none of our business to know how that will become, because God knows how he will connect things. He was able to get into Mary's biological system and be able to work things out even without human intervention, and Mary became expectant. If Mary became expectant, what are we saying? We are simply saying that it is really possible for you and for me, for God to be able to alter and to reverse and to plan what we are saying. Just trust the process. When God leads you into that unfamiliar path, when God takes you into those paths that you're not very sure on how it's going to turn out, what are we saying? Please trust the process. Trust the process. That is what virgin birth is teaching us. And then lesson number 4 that we pick the encouragement is this, which is even the powerful, even the most powerful of the land, in this case Herod, are weak when God swings into action. Now the most powerful person in this case was Herod. Herod was powerful. He was the king. In fact, he had the title King of Jews. In fact, he had eliminated anybody who seemed like he would take that title. And you see, and again, he was so connected that even had met with he had met with the wise men who had informed him that there is a king of Jews that have been born. And you know, he even made an order, but everything was fruitless. Everything turned into frustration. In fact, we read that when Herod learned that he has been tricked, in other words, he was frustrated. The most powerful, the most politically connected, the most flourishing person that you can think of was frustrated. You know, he died without ever killing the King of Kings. And we need to say it right here, dear viewers, Marketplace Media, that it doesn't matter how powerful and connected your enemy might be. The truth of the matter, because nothing is impossible with God. God will be able to help you to move from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 until you become successful. No enemy, when the enemy rises against you and fights God's project and fight you when you're doing that which God has purposed to you, they are not going to be successful. They are going to fail on day one. Why? Because we are saying even the powerful are weak when God swings into action. Even that strong, politically connected person is weak when God swings into action. And so what does divine conception teaches? Number 1, nothing is impossible with God. Number 2, God is able to cause absurd things to become a reality. And number 3, trust the process. Just follow on. Say yes, sir. And then number 4, we say even the powerful are weak when God swings to action. This is Marketplace Media, an online platform that engages, equips, and encourages believers to say, inawezekana. Thanks so much for watching. We believe that this particular broadcast has been a blessing to you. If it has, please remember to give this video thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. Otherwise, you may never find us again on this platform. And remember, this is Merry Christmas. Those things that sounds impossible, they are possible with God, because this is Marketplace Media, where we say inawezekana. Thanks so much for watching. Please let's meet for the second impossible situation or thing that happened within Christmas. My name is John Kimani. Remember what you always say here, inawezekana.